demonstrate a method of taping to help hold the arch up. If you're having instability from a prior injury or a weak arch and the arch is collapsing, causing issues in the foot or up the chain. I'm going to show it using 2 strips of kinesio tape. That's optional. You can use just one of these if that feels like enough, but you can also use both for a little more support. To start out, we're going to rip about 1 inch off the end of our tape, and we're going to anchor on the top outside of the foot. So we're going to anchor that first piece with no stretch on the top outside of that foot towards the back of the foot. So I've got that first anchor there in front of the bone, about 1 inch or 2. No stretch on the end of the tape. You want to line it up so that as you pull it through, it's going to hit the back part of that arch, right where you should feel a prominent bone. That's the navicular bone. So you're going to try to line it up in a way that'll pull right through to the back of that arch there. So as I peel the backing off of my tape to pull it around, I'm going to leave the last inch on, and I'm going to pre-position my foot kind of down and in. So that down and inward swoop to try to get that arch where I want it. And then I'm looking to come right through the back part of that arch there. I'm giving it a pretty good pull. So you might want to hold on to your anchor here. I'm pulling maximal. You can let off maybe 80% pull. And you'll be able to figure out what feels right once you've played around with this a little bit. So my first piece, I'm going to come through, and then I'm actually going to come up and around the front of the lower leg or the tibia, and then I'm going to anchor no stretch on my end. And just lay that down, no stretch. Okay, so that's piece 1, pulling right through the back of that arch there. You can stand up, see how that feels, see if it's helping with that collapse in the rear foot. And then if you need a little bit more and you want to add the second piece, similar, except we're not going to pull it all the way around. So we're going to start it very similar spot to our first piece. But this time as we come through, we're going to come right up the inside of the lower leg. And so play around. You might just like one or the other of these, and you might like the combination. So same thing, I'm kind of pre-positioning my arch, and then I'm trying to pull it through right in front of the heel in the back part of the arch, a high point of your arch. And this time I'm going to come right on up the inside of the leg, pretty good stretch, laying it down, no stretch on the last inch or 2. And with the 2 pieces, that should feel like a pretty good support to your arch. If it feels like too much, you can try again with a little less of the stretch or the tension, and you should be able to then balance with less of that collapse in your rear foot.